I'm Peter Eigen, and I spoke at the Rotary Club as the founder and the chairman of the Advisory Council of Transparency International, which is an international organization against corruption. I founded Transparency International exactly 20 years ago. At that time I was the director of the World Bank office in Nairobi, and I noticed that many of the efforts which we all together undertook in order to help the poor in Africa and Asia, Latin America, were undermined by corruption, by systematic corruption. And in fact, a corruption which was even allowed under the laws of the home countries of many of the international operators, the big companies like Siemens, like Daimler, like MAN, and so on. And it was this corruption which, in my opinion, caused so much poverty, so much misery, so much violence, so much suffering in the world that I wanted to do something about it. And this is why I left the bank 20 years ago and established a small non-governmental organization. And I was honored to be able to present this to the people gathering at their Rotary meeting. But I try to also use this as an illustration that we are faced with failing governance of a globalized economy, which is not properly governed, and therefore corruption and the way civil society was able to deal with corruption was a very good illustration of what we have to do in order to create a better world. In the meantime, the organization Transparency International has grown. We have the headquarters of the global movement here in Berlin. We are about 180 people supporting more than 100 national chapters everywhere in the world. And I must say it is quite encouraging to see how many institutions, many companies, many governments have taken on this mission of trying to fight corruption. And in that sense, it is true that we probably talk more about corruption nowadays. We see that more often in various newspapers than before. But the reason is not that there is more corruption. The reason is that nowadays corruption is not tolerated anymore. Corruption is recognized for what it is. It is a deadly cancer of society. And therefore many people are angry about corrupt leaders. Many people are angry about corrupt companies which are trying to get contracts internationally through bribery, through perversion of economic decision-making of the governments in many countries. And therefore, it is very encouraging to see how a global movement has developed, a global awareness about the damages of corruption. And I'm sure that we will make more progress in the next couple of years. Well, in spite of this progress of building awareness, how damaging and how terrible corruption is, there are still many people who believe that if they go outside, for instance Germany, if they go outside their country, they have to bribe. There are many people who still believe if there's a big contract to be had somewhere, that they are justified to use corrupt means in order to get this. And in my opinion, this is something where the value system of society has to be recalibrated, where the quiet sort of tolerance of corruption is not acceptable anymore, where organizations like the Rotary Club, for instance, which is a very, very useful and valuable global non-governmental organization, that the members of the Rotary Club and other organizations like that, they should take this on as one of their global goals, and should in their companies, in their hospitals, in their sports clubs, in their research activities, in their universities, absolutely not tolerate any type of corruption anymore and try to root it out in order to have a world in which real quality counts, where competition and the market can operate without these distortions, and where thereby the economy and democracy can flourish and can make sure that we have a better and just world in the future, rather than one which is distorted and destroyed by corruption.